Hello and welcome to episode 43 of the Indie String Podcast. I'm your host, Kay, also known as Indie String, on Ravelry and Instagram and Facebook. So come and find me. I would love to join you as a friend and see what you're doing throughout your week and what you're knitting on or crocheting or making. I'm really multi-craftural. It's not really a word, but multi-crafty maybe, and I like any craft. I don't think that I could successfully do all crafts, but I really enjoy watching others. So hopefully I'll see you on the internet. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Right now it is the day before Thanksgiving in the United States, and I have spent the last 4 hours now, cleaning my house because I am hosting Thanksgiving. I host Thanksgiving every year. I don't live by family, and so I invite, I guess, orphans, people such as us who have relocated here or probably in the last year or two, and you know, many people that I know that are single or are in their 20s or early 30s who don't have a family of their own, maybe a significant other or children. They don't want, not that they don't want to, they kind of make a choice. Either they go home for Thanksgiving or they go home for Christmas. And many people choose to go home for I shouldn't say Christmas. I celebrate Christmas, so it's, you know, my first thought. But for any kind of holiday, whether it's Kwanzaa or anything, whatever you choose to celebrate or not celebrate, they usually go home for that sort of holiday activity and stay here for Thanksgiving. So I have about 10 adults coming to my house tomorrow for Thanksgiving, and I do really enjoy it. However, the night before is always a tad bit stressful. Right now, I am supposed to be cleaning my room, and instead I decided to podcast with you guys. I haven't podcasted, and I've been thinking about it for the last several hours and thought, heck, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I would say that I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow, and I could do it on Friday, but I want to get this up for Thanksgiving and tell you all in the United States, Happy Thanksgiving. And for our neighboring friends in Canada, I know you already had your Thanksgiving, and I hope it was absolutely lovely. For anybody else outside of the U.S. And Canada, I hope that you guys have something similar holiday, and if you do, well, happy holidays. So let's get started about what I've been knitting. It's been about 2 weeks, and to be quite honest, I am really good at about 2 weeks, doing a podcast every 2 weeks. Every week is somewhat harder for me to fit in my schedule. So what I would say is you can pretty much count on me for every 2 weeks, and it's a bonus. It's a bonus for me if I get it done every week. And you know what? I'm going to have to go downstairs and go get my knitting, so I'll be right back. We're back. Sorry about that. I have not been crafting a lot in the last 2 weeks. It's been pretty busy at work. And tonight, out of the Tinkerbell cup, I'm having my guilty pleasure, which is Vietnamese coffee. It is, because I never knew this until like 2 years ago. It's cold coffee, or you make hot coffee and then ice it down, but it's iced coffee with milk and sweetened condensed milk. It's delicious. It is so horrifically bad for me that I only can have it once in a while, but I figured 4 hours of cleaning means that I get a coffee. And I have, honestly, you guys, after this, I have to cook for at least 2 more hours tonight. And then I got to get up, I don't know, 7-ish and start cooking again. So I felt like I really deserved it. So mostly what I have been knitting is finishing up some things. The holidays are coming, and you guys know that I knit quite a bit in the coming year, or the preceding year for the holidays. And what I do is I just have a gift bin I put everything in. So before I put it in there, it is at least blocked, but a lot of times the ends aren't woven in. And so I went through my gift box and we decided, my husband and I, he likes to help me decide who to give the presents to and when we should send them and all that. And he really appreciates my knitting, and he kind of calls some of it for people on his list. So we went through that, and then I did all the finishing, sewing on buttons and weaving an end, so everything is ready to go and be wrapped after Thanksgiving. I'll probably do that this weekend and start to ship things, and I will ship on Monday. So that's really great, and at least that's like one big check off my list. Alright, so then what have I been knitting? So I've really concentrated on the sweater, which this is the Tanqueray. And if you would remember, I don't know, if this is your first episode, you would not remember, but I finished the sleeves several weeks ago, and I kind of put it down to work on some other projects. So I picked it back up, and I am on the back. So I'm sorry, it was really smushed in my bag, as you can see. This yarn is Pigeon Roof Studios Merino Cashmere and Silk in the Honey colorway. She no longer carries this base, however, this is a repeatable color for her. So if you like it, you could custom order it or see if she has some on her site. When I last checked before I podcast, she didn't have any up. But it is the big holiday sale weekend in the U.S. It's Black Friday this week. Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday. So there's lots of stuff going on with sales and shops. So I went ahead and I have been knitting this, and it's amazing when I only have been knitting on this. So I'm adding, I would say, an inch, at least 1 inch a night if I don't have a lot of knitting time, but most nights I've been adding 3 inches or so. So this is basically to the increase section. I have 2 inches of twisted ribbing, and then I did my decreases and now my straight section and my increases. And on a sweater, it kind of goes your ribbing, and then you decrease in for, you know, my hips, when your hips go in a little bit to your waist. Mine really doesn't do that, but okay, let's just say it does. And so it goes in a little bit, and then you have a straight section for your torso, and then it's flaring back out for your bust if you're a woman. And then I'll separate, I won't separate, but I will do the shoulder shaping, because this is a seam sweater, and so for the set-in sleeves. And so I am only like 2 inches away from the shaping for the sleeves. So I am getting really close to getting the back done. I hope to have it done before I podcast next. So really, that's it. But what have I finished? And what am I going to cast on? So let's talk about what I'm going to cast on first, because that's the big thing. This has kind of been my lazy knitting, because I didn't have to wind anything or cast anything on, but I am heavy into thinking about the stuff I need to finish busting out for Christmas or the holidays for gift giving. So I need to hurry up and do that. So that is going to be lots of little projects, and then I'm just going to keep this one large project. I'm really going to try to stay away from casting on anything else that's new that can't be finished within a week. I'm really hoping to get at least a few more things done. Hats, cowls, fingerless mitts. Several people have requested fingerless mitts, so it might be that kind of year for me. All right, what have I finished? Well, there's the big thing. I'll show you the big one first. I finished this wonderful kindling shawl, and this is a Brooklyn tweed pattern, or Wool People, and it's a few years old. This is knit out of Indie String yarn in the Celery colorway in the Superior worsted. I only have one weight of yarn available. It is custom milled for me, so eventually I will have more weights, but currently we just have the worsted weight. And I have to say, I wore this all day and I love it. It is bright and cheery. My husband is like, he's like, wow, can you see you across the room? But really, that's when I don't have anything on. When I'm on my coat, you can just kind of see it by my face. It's lovely and warm and very big. So I'm going to take it off of Jackie the mannequin, and I'll show you some of the detail. So look how big it is. It's gigantic. I love gigantic shawls. I really found this pattern fabulous. And it is a great beginner pattern. It has cables, and I'll show you, but it is a very good introduction to cabling without a cabling needle. So there's one that runs across the top, and then the sections are separated by this small cable as well. And so it's really good to learn how to cable without a cable needle, because you are doing it on every row. It is pattern on both sides, the right side and the wrong side, so there isn't a rest row, but it's knit and purl motifs, so it's not very difficult, or at least in my opinion. And I actually memorized this pattern quite early and could anticipate what was coming next. So that was really great. I didn't have to have the charts with me, and I didn't have to carry it around. I love it. I'm so excited by it, you guys. So I think, well, I always knew I was going to keep it for myself, but I am excited to have it done for the cold season, if it would only get here. Yesterday it was 65, unseasonably warm here. Usually at this point of the year, in the daytime it's in the 40s, and at night it drops to the 30s. And I know that is not cold. Believe me, I know that's not cold. However, it's chilly enough that I need something to wear. And so I was hoping that, you know, it's the end of November and it is still not very cold. We're having a super mild winter. Oh, we'll do the best we can with that. The other thing that I finished, which you guys didn't even get to see, I haven't blocked it out yet, is I finished the Downton cowl. And this is also out of Pigeon Roof. And this is also a base she doesn't carry anymore. And this is a one-off color. So basically, sorry about that. I feel bad when I show you guys stuff you can't have or you can't get. But it is brown and greens. And I really think it looks like little trees. So this will be a gift. I was thinking maybe for Jillian's, my daughter's kitty garden teacher. The only thing that I have to say is I should have went up a needle size, or I should have cast on more. It is pretty narrow. Actually, I'll take off my glasses and I'll put it on, and I'm going to mess up my hair. That's how much I love you guys. So it's not bad. I wouldn't say that I feel constricted. And I know with blocking it's going to relax a little bit. And so I'm really hoping that it relaxes just enough to give it a little bit of a slouch and to fall more naturally when you put it on. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to give this to her kitty garden teacher. And so that'll be exciting. That's one more project down. All I have to do is block it and weave in the ends. And this was pretty quick. There were several days the last 2 weeks that I really didn't even knit, which is very odd for me. So I didn't get a lot done. I'm sorry. That didn't mean that I didn't have some good times. So I still have this much left. And I'm thinking about doing a fingerless mitt. I have at least enough to do one. And then I have some coordinating leftovers. And so what I was planning to do for Christmas is knit a lot of the same pattern. I was going to try to find one that went well and then knit them out of the same weight yarn in the same color palette and just kind of mix and match. So you might get a green mitt with, you know, this brown and green. You might get a purple mitt and a blue mitt or something like that to mix them up, because I like to be a little funky and I'm going to force it upon everybody that I know and love. Right? They need to be funky. Embrace the funk. All right. So that's what I finished. So what have I purchased? So I've gotten a few things. I think like the rest of the people on Instagram, I heard about Tuesday Morning having CHAGU needles. So Tuesday Morning is kind of like a TJ Maxx, or I'm trying to think of another one, like a Marshall's, a Ross, except no clothes. All it is home goods. So like where I live, I have a TJ Maxx Home Goods that has clothes and home goods. A Tuesday Morning has no clothes. I mean, sometimes they'll have socks, but they don't have like a woman's wear section at all. A kid section, there's none. There's never a men's section. It is almost completely home goods of some kind. They do have mine at least has a really good toy section for little kids. And they actually have a pretty good craft section. And everything in the store is overstock of some kind, or some kind of discount. So they had CHAGUs there. So they don't get stuff that's defected or that didn't make the cut or has a mark on it. It's still quality things. It's just either they were being clearanced out or they had too much of it. So a set of CHAGUs were $2.50. So I got every one that they had in a length that I find acceptable. They had a lot of like 16-inch, 12-inch, like really short lengths, and I don't prefer to knit with those. The needle size usually is too small and it makes my hand cramp, but each their own. I know lots of people love them. I wish I could knit with them because it would make sleeves so much easier on sweaters. So I got a size 4. A 000, my first 000, people. Look at how small that needle is. It is scary small. For reals, yo. I am a tight knitter, and that is scary small to me. And I got 00s and 0s, and they're all 40-inch lengths for $2.50 a piece. The funny part about this is, I was like, oh, we're going to go over to that part of town that has Tuesday Mornings? And my husband's like, yeah, so? And I was like, I heard on Instagram, I saw some pictures. They have some needles. And I'm like, they're super cheap. And I really want to go see what they have. And he pauses and he's trying to be so tactful. Poor man, so tactful. He's like, it's not about the money. It's not that you're going to spend money on yourself. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it, And he goes, do you really need more needles? I've seen how many needles you have. Do you really need more? I go, there are needles I do not have, brother. I totally need some needles. He's like, okay. So he took me and I got 4. It was fabulous. Okay, and I only bought one more thing. So the Fat Squirrel Speaks had a bag update. And I got a Christmas bag. I love bags. So this is the bag that I got, and this is actually the first time that I haven't gotten a large wedge. I believe this is her medium wedge, and so it's just big enough for me for one project, very comfortably fit. She does have one smaller size that is a sock bag, which is quite a bit smaller, I believe, than this. It's differently proportioned. I think it's narrower in it, but it's taller. But I just wanted a Christmas bag. I have one other one, so I'll put them into rotation because I knit everywhere I go. I make it looks. I knit at dinner. I went to the bar this afternoon to have lunch because I got off at noon. So my husband and a whole bunch of friends and I went to the bar, and I sat there at the bar and knit. Who cares? But that's everything I've gotten. So we're going to move on to Indie String. I usually tell you people that, I'm totally going to do a plug for myself and that I understand if you don't want to leave. I do understand if you leave, but guess what, you guys? There's a total sale going to go on. It is Thanksgiving, and it is Black Friday, and it's Small Business Saturday, and it is Cyber Monday, and we are having a sale. This is our biggest sale we'll probably have all year. And if you have been waiting to try it, man, this is the opportunity. So from our family to yours, have a coupon code. It's Thinx 20. It is also when you go to the Indie String website, which is www.indiestring.com. It is on the front page. You don't even have to memorize it. And it's 20% off everything in stock, which includes our new project bags that we just put on this shop. And we have released new colorways. We have released a one-of-a-kind called Molly. We have released some other grays. Just go check it out. There's lots of new stuff. And if that was not enough, I know, right? We have a new bag. So I showed you guys last time the Tab project bag that I would say is big enough to fit a large project, if not a sweater. So now I'm pretty selfish with the product development. I wanted two things in one, and my wonderful mother puts up with me and totally did it. So I love spinning yarn, and I have a Hanson mini spinner, which I do take with me when I go places. If I'm really leaving for more than 2 days, I take it, because why not? And so I put my fiber in a bag. In addition, I have a puppy who loves fiber, who has chewed it and eaten it and destroyed it, and a daughter who, she just likes to pull it apart. She's like, look, it's like tufts. And I'm like, don't do it, don't touch it. Stop, 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 stop. The whole time. And so all my fiber that I am spinning, whether it be on my matchless wheel or on my mini spinner, is in a bag of some kind. It has to be. Otherwise, it gets destroyed or lost, or, I mean, my daughter's taken scissors to it. So you just never know. If it's not put away, it's a problem. And, you know, that's my fault as the adult. I should put it away. So my big complaint is that I use lots of my project bags for my spinning, my yarn. Not my yarn. Excuse me, my fiber. And what happens is when you have cotton canvas or you have any kind of cotton, and then I put fiber on the inside, depending on the type of fiber I'm putting, but all fiber in general sticks to that cotton. And it's really not a huge deal. It's not like I'm losing a lot of weight when I spin. However, I have to turn it inside out, and I have to get all of it off before I do the next project. And when sorry, I'm a little loopy. I apologize. Your first episode, I'm sorry. When I am spinning and I'm spinning more expensive fiber, it's just the cheap part of me that's like, I want all of it. I want all of it. So when I spin things like that have a really short staple, which typically I have found are more expensive, so if I'm spinning cashmere or yak or camel or something like that, I can get quite a bit of that because it is so short. It'll come off of the roving pretty easily inside my bag. And I was talking to my mother about it. I'm like, you know, I want a satin lined bag. I want something that's like slick on the inside, that won't catch the fiber, that I don't have to mess with, that I can take it in and out, that it won't snag on a zipper. That's the other thing. I don't like zippers because I don't want it to snag on the zipper while I'm pulling it out constantly. I don't want, you know, I don't want this and I want this and I want that. And so she came up with a bag for me. So I'm going to preface this with, this is the prototype. I will insert a picture here of the real bag so you guys can see it. So give me a second and I will insert this picture for you. So it is quite tall and it's very big. I think that picture is a little misleading. It looks smaller just because it doesn't have anything next to it for scale. So I'm going to show you mine. This is the original bag, and it is quite a bit shorter. It's like 6 inches shorter than the actual bag is going to be. So keep that in mind. The proportions are going to be more appropriate, I guess. They are going to be more visually appealing than this bag. But hey, you got to go through some prototypes, and I might as well put them in my collection. So this is the bag, and it is really quite big. It is a pull string bag so that you don't snag on it at all with spinning fiber. And on the inside, see how shiny it is? That's actually satin. It is used a lot in dresses to line things. You know, that really silky feeling material is what it's lined in. So right now, I wish I could show you. I could put my head in this. It's so big. Like, it is just gigantic. That's how big the base is. And the ones on the site are 6 inches taller, so they are this tall. I, right now, have 2 bumps of fiber in here, and I know these are compact and they're not pulled apart. So when you spin, you actually braid this, for another word of it, you undo it and you kind of pull it apart. I could easily fit in this bag without the extra 6 inches of height at least 2 bumps of fiber, which are typically around 4 ounces, ripped apart. So that's exciting to me. The next thing about it is that I like the pulse, I like the tabs. So the cords themselves, she did put an end on them, a nice tab so you have something nice to grab. A lot of times when I was showing her my bags that have that you pull, they're not as thick cords and they don't have something on the end to hold them when you pull them. Typically it's not a problem on a smaller bag, but on a bag this big, I was like, you know, you really need something to be able to grab and pull them together to cinch it all the way up. So that's really, really nice. And everything is made with interfacing in it, so it is more heavy duty, so you can open it all the way up. So I'm going to take my spinning fibers out that I have in there, and I'm going to tell you the secret. The second thing that I wanted in a bag is I love sweater bags. I love huge, huge sweater bags, and this, my friends, is gigantic. So I have 1,900 yards of a DK weight inside this bag, and it easily closes. Easily. No problem. And especially with 6 more inches, I could get, I would say, 6 to 8 pretty easily worsted weight skeins and a project inside that bag. So I would say for me, it is a great sweater bag. I never put all of my yarn in the bag that I'm using when I'm knitting a sweater. I usually put in the skein I'm using, and I will put in a spare. But I do like to keep all my pieces together. So especially if I'm knitting a sweater in pieces, I want to keep all of them together because I don't want to lose them. It's totally a nightmare. I have had it that I lose a piece and I cannot find it and then I can't finish my sweater. So I like to keep them all together. And I just need more room than a typical project bag provides. So a lot of the time I'm on hunts for sweater bags that I find that are within, you know, my budget and are big enough to accommodate my size. I find a lot of times people are like, oh, this is a great sweater bag, and they are totally serious, but a sweater bag for them. I am not tiny. Not that I'm average, I guess, but I'm not really little. So like when people will make a sweater with 700 yards, you know, of a worsted weight, like, no way. For me, that's 1,200 yards. And so because of the difference in size, my sweater bags need to be bigger than theirs because I have more that I have to have. So this is a great sweater bag. It is a great spinning bag. It could be anything you want it to be, but it's just a great bag. I really like that it has the poles, and the pole does have, you know, the interior channel to run in. And there's only, and this is not the fabric that's available on the site. The picture I showed you with the pink with swirls is what's available. There's only 2 of those available. There will be more coming, but we basically just figured out exactly what we wanted them to be, and we wanted to get a few up. So you could use the 20% off discount code on a sweater bag or spinning bag of your choice. So I hope you guys love it as much as I do. I think they're fantastic, and I can't wait to use it when I travel. And I think I'm gonna, yeah, I bumped the camera, sorry. So what else is going on? I'm being kind of rambly. Sorry. Not sorry. Got it. Sorry. Oh, see. I swear I say I'm sorry a lot. So we were contacted to potentially be a sponsor for Knittin' in the Mitten. Knittin' in the Mitten was in the beginning of November in southern Michigan, and we were happy to provide some giveaways for that event and also something to put in the goodie bags that everybody gets. So to be honest, there's a lot of retreats out there, and I really want to go to every single one on the planet. I mean, perfectly honest, like if I was independently wealthy or I won the lottery or something happened, I would seriously be a knitting retreat fool. I would go to everything. It's one of my dreams. But I'm always curious when I hear people, and many people go through their bags and they'll show all the yarn or everything they won, everything they bought. So we were trying to create something, right? This is our first time doing something like this to put in the bags. And so this is what we came up with, and I wanted to show you all because I like to see stuff like this. And the retreat is over, so I know everyone received theirs. So we put it in a bag, a nice little bag like this. And we put a button and a business card with a coupon code and a sample so everyone could see. So let's look at a few things. I love these buttons. They're teeny tiny and I love them. So I have to order more so I can have them for if anybody wants them for you guys. Focus. There we go. No. So yep, it's just little indie string. And then I got new business cards for the event, which is exciting. It's my first time ordering business cards for the company. I had ordered them before for the podcast. It said I was a podcast, but I never had ordered them for the company itself. So they're just the logo on front and then our info on back, which I find lovely. I ordered them. Yes, I find it lovely. Amazing, right? So, and then my mom did this, and it is the cutest thing ever, ever. So, I'm sorry. I'm not like stamp. She makes cards and stuff. She's got all of these cutouts and everything. So we had our tag, and she cut it out, and then she put a backer on it. Isn't it cute? Oh, I know it doesn't seem like a very like big thing, but when you're doing like 100 of them, and you have to print them all out, and then use the cutter and cut them all out, and then adhere them to another piece of paper that you had also cut out, and then hole punch them and string them through. My gosh, sometimes I think that woman's a saint. She puts up with me. And then this is the sample that I received, and it is Keweenaw Copper. I love this colorway. It is like gray with little hints of brown in it. It's so pretty. So pretty. Sweater would be good gorgeous out of it. I'm already planning my next big knit with, my own yarn. I can't believe I have my own yarn. Ah! Okay. Focus. So that is everything that's been going on with Indie String lately. I hope you guys head over to the shop and you check out our sale and get yourself something wonderful for this holiday season, or just because you love yourself. And why shouldn't you? Because you are fabulous and wonderful and amazing. I honestly believe that about every person. Everybody is great. I shouldn't say that. Sometimes there's just not nice people in the world, but they're few and far between. So, rants and raves. So what's been going on? Honestly, I'm pretty boring. I mean, you guys, I don't want to tell you all the stress stuff that's going on because really no one can help me with that but me, or all the annoying stuff that's going on. Because once again, that's just too much. There's just stuff going on. My dog, which I told you guys last time I recorded, is doing much better. We put her on some steroids and they seem to be working. At this point, she can keep food down. And so we're slowly starting to wean her off of those, and we'll see what happens once she's fully off of them. And give her kind of a test run to see if it really is skin cancer or to see if she just had something completely horrible. She isn't quite as peppy as she used to be. It's getting better, but it's been 3 weeks. And so I am quite concerned it is something serious. At this point, she seems as though she's not in any pain, and she seems like she is content. I mean, for a dog, you can tell when they're upset or they're pained. She's not being snappy, and she's not anything else. I mean, the steroid is making her thirsty. She has to go to the bathroom, I swear, every 10 minutes, and she is unbelievably hungry. I was hoping that this steroid in particular, is known to make you gain weight. It's a very common side effect. And I was hoping that she would gain some weight because she didn't eat for like a week. And if you guys have ever seen a picture of a Weimaraner that kind of almost look like a greyhound with that shape of body where they're super skinny, quite big but skinny, and she lost weight when she didn't eat for a week, you know, obviously. She lost weight, and so I was hoping she gained some back, but she really hasn't as much as I believe she probably should have. Let's see how it goes. It's kind of a step process. My husband is home. I think he only has one more trip before the end of the year, so we should be able to get to a place where if we do have to make a decision, he'll be here with me, which that's part of probably the hardest part. If you ask my husband, he would say he hardly travels at all. Everyone else in my life would be like he's gone all the time. I'm more in the middle about it. He's gone quite a bit, and he kind of goes through these runs where he's gone all the time and then he's home all the time. So it's kind of these waves of traveling, and it seems as though the last big wave has been completed, and so we're now on to that he's going to be home for a little bit. I am really looking forward to the holiday season, everything, Thanksgiving and all of that jazz, mostly because this is the first year in 10 years, no, more than that, 12 years, 11 or 12 years, that Jeff, my husband, has not had a major project, had to work, or should have been working but wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, he would be here but not here because he would be working on his computer, he would be totally distracted, or this is like the first year that there's not a major catastrophe or a major project or something completely draining his attention away from just basically enjoying the holidays with his family. So that's pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to kind of just chilling out, knitting, and being together, because, you know, that's what the holidays are about for me. As you get older, the old saying is true, you want less that money can buy and more that money can never buy. And I have to say, I love my life. I love you guys. Love Indie String. I like where I work. I like who I work with. And I love my family. All of them. My husband and my daughter, of course, but my parents and my sisters and my in-laws and all of my aunts and cousins, and goodness gracious knows that I've been blessed with a lot of them. And I only say that because my husband has a teeny tiny family. I think in his family, I mean, 20 people, maybe. And in my family, there's a lot more than 20. So I always feel like I have this gigantic family, which I'm always grateful for. If you could do me one favor this Thanksgiving, if you're going somewhere, you're going over to someone's house, if you know, are spending time with either friends or family, that you thank whoever is at your house you're at. Because let me tell you, I don't want to mop the floor on my hands and knees anymore. I did that for an hour and something today and was horrific. Oh. Although, the funny antidote of the week is one of my coworkers is making a turkey, and I taught several people at work this last few weeks, like how you actually make a turkey. Many of them had never made one. And so I don't know how I have gotten known to be the person that knows how to make things, but I am at work now, and so I taught, or at least coached them through what they're supposed to do. I'm getting texts tonight, and I'm sure I'll get lots of them tomorrow about what they're supposed to do for the turkeys. And so one of my closest coworkers, she's just a doll, and she's making a turkey for her boyfriend of 5 years. I call her her significant other, her partner, and his brother and his dad. And so I was like, well, you know, what are you planning on making? We're talking about, you know, the whole menu and, you know, whether it's worth it to make stuffing or stovetop, all of that jazz, right? We went through the whole thing. And her partner's father called her up and was like, I really want to bring something. I really want to bring something. She's like, don't bring anything. Don't bring anything. And I tell the people that come to my house the same thing. I tell people, don't bring anything. And when they're insistent, I'm like, fine, bring your drinks. If you want to drink beer, bring your own beer. That's all I ask. I said, I don't know what everybody likes to drink. Everybody likes to drink something else. So bring what you want to drink, and then we're square. And so she was like, just bring some beer, you know, just don't bring anything. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to the store tonight, and I'm getting you what you need. And she's like, okay. Okay, well, what's going on? And he's like, I'm going to bring you 2 cans of corn. It was so sweet, right? He thought about it, and he was like, I'm going to get her some corn. But what was funny about it to me was, he wasn't like, oh, I'll bring corn. He was like, I'll bring you 2 cans of corn, and then you can make them for me. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. Didn't make me chuckle. Okay. Bring over that corn, buddy. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you're going to join me in supporting all of the crafters and small businesses across the world. I try to, it doesn't matter where you are. If I like your product, I'll pay for shipping to get it to me. I hope you guys are going to really look for things that you love, and hopefully you can shop some sales, because I'm going to do it. Hopefully get done with Christmas. Like, I'm like this. Like, let me get done with my shopping this weekend and have a lovely time. If you do remember, please peruse us, indiestring.com, and get 20% off for this next 4 days, and have a lovely time. I'll talk to you guys soon, hopefully in a week, maybe 2 weeks, but in the next 2 weeks, I'll stop by and chat again. Don't forget to join the Ravelry group to be eligible for giveaways and prizes, and also to friend me on Instagram, find us on Facebook or Ravelry. You guys have a wonderful 2 weeks. Let's just call it the way it is. 2 weeks. And I'll talk to you soon. Knit with some love, you guys. Bye.